So that's going live. I forgot to open this. We're live. It's happening. It is happening. Jennifer Ann Coffee, missed your face. How you been since last we met on Tuesday? Although we also met on the weekend, but don't tell.
We talk every day. I have been good. I get like personal. Are you asking personally or writerly or pandemically?
Oh gosh, there's so many categories to that question, isn't there? Just I guess in a general, well, I guess we could stick to the professional since we're doing a professional write-in.
Yes.
How are you doing writerly at this time?
I've been doing okay. You know, after I really enjoyed our session last week, I felt like it sort of revitalized me. I was excited. I think sometimes just getting out of my head and doing writing that way always makes me really excited. And I don't understand why I don't do it more. But then, of course, when I sit down to do my own stuff, I'm like, must edit, must make things a certain way. So I am become a robot.
Doing a robot. Must do the dance. So, but I feel like that way about other things that I like to. I know that I like to do it, like exercising or whatever. Same kind of thing where I'm like, wait, if I do it and it's fun and enjoyable, you know what? If you find the thing you like and you're like re-energized, it's great. And then same thing. Like, why don't I do it all the time? I always think I need a partner or something.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So were you able then to write throughout the rest of the week?
I felt like I had a couple of good writing days at the end of the week. And then I sort of fell into that same hole that I usually do, which I think I got busier with work and family life and things like that. And there is still time for it. I think I need to just be like, if I can only do 20 minutes, I can just do 20 minutes, you know? But then I'm like, oh, I don't have time. And then I just lose the focus. So I'm happy to be back today because I think that will kind of pull me back.
Nice.
What about you? How was your writing stuff?
You know, I gotta say, this week, unfortunately, I feel like it's been my worst.
You're like, it's making me worse.
But I feel like, hey,
make it worse.
let's chat it out. I feel like I get into this place, and I do it with my stand-up, I do it with everything, where it's like I'm really doing well, like on my own. Oh, hey, there we are.
Hi. I'm like looking at myself.
This is the modern age.
We're learning the tech. We're doing it.
I think it's still on. You probably got to mute it.
Yep. Sure do.
I'm like, this one, you know, is bad when myself is interrupting myself. I get a little, instead of doing the creative thing, which I love, and like do it like internally, I am now in like producing mode. So I'm like, we got to produce this write-in. We got to promote the write-in. You know, I always get that because I do have like a lot of external force and energy, but really where I'm creative, it's like when I'm by myself, locked up, you know what I mean? And that is how it works. That's why I think I had a really successful April. So I have to balance myself. Like, we are doing this once a week. I don't need to put a ton of time and energy into this because the reason we're doing this is for the writing. It is for the writing.
Do you think it's like a safety thing for you to be like, I'm just going to go back into producer mode where I know I can excel at, and not that you don't excel at the writing as well, but like, you know, it feels safer, or it feels more job-like, or
I think it feels more job-like, and for me it's way easier. Like, writing to me is like this fog, it's like this puzzle. It takes a lot of thinking and introspection for me, and it's like therapy sometimes. It's like work. Where the day job stuff is like, I have a to-do list, and I have like a producer list, and like tick, 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 and I can make a graphic for this, and I can do this, you know what I mean? There's like that. And I actually do like that part of my brain where like the like sort of tactical part versus the creative part. And I love the creative part, but it's just harder and messier and like, you know.
I'm with you. I fall in the same thing. I'd rather just be like, I'm just going to go clean something, or I'm just going to go do like a spreadsheet, or, you know, or something along those lines that I feel, I don't know, it just, for some reason, it's like ticking off a box.
Yes.
But I'm trying to see if I can do that with my writing sometimes too, because you can, where you just like, just do the 25 minutes, just edit this piece, you know, that kind of thing. But
yeah. And for me, I think, and just saying it out loud for this write-in is also just to be comfortable in the smaller, quieter, like gentler moments, because that's what I run away from.
Same.
I like the fire and the excitement of like, we got to be up at 7. We got to, you know, like, I get excited by the adrenaline, and that is not what works for me for writing. It is the silence.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. I have to be very silent. And I mean, here's the secret that nobody likes to talk about is it can be very boring. It's not as exciting. Just sit in the silence. And for two people who are like, I like shiny, exciting things. Let's go look at fires. I struggle with that because I'm like, let's do, where's the fun? Where's the excitement?
Yeah.
And it's in your head, but then when you're putting it on the paper, it often I get bored with it. I struggle with that.
Yeah, and I think like the challenge that's the challenge I have is you're right, like the boredom, it feels small, or like I'm digging through like a ball of yarn that I have no answer to, and that's frustrating sometimes. Yeah. But then I have to remind myself, like you were saying in the beginning, when you do find something, you're like, oh,
when it starts to like roll, yeah. And then I feel like the movement of it, and then I get excited.
Yeah,
my brain's like active. But
all right, well we checked in.
All right.
Put that off the to-do list.
Amazing.
So the goal here is to get us writing. So that's our plan. We're going to do 3 writing prompts and writing sprints. And again, if you're here with us new, I know that there's a couple people watching. Jen is an author. I am a stand-up. We also do like performative personal essay stuff. And we're just, Jen's in Indiana. I'm in Illinois. We're staying at home. All of those things. And we're doing writing prompts and writing sprints. Do you want to just really quickly let them know what that is in case they don't?
Yeah, super quick. So we're going to set a timer for 5 minutes. We're going to give you a prompt. So the prompt is kind of like, it's like a sentence or a couple words or something to get you moving. And keep your pen on the paper or your fingers typing and just go. Don't think about it. Do a free write. Just try to move and write for 5 solid minutes. If you don't like our prompt, feel free to use any of your own. You can just pick a word or just start writing anything you want to do.
Perfect. Perfect. And then I just want to use our fancy new tech. Look who's watching. Joni Shaw.
Hi, Joni. I figure out what my hand is.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to give Joni a shout out.
Joni is very impressed. I can feel it. Very impressed. Okay. So do you want me to start off with the first sprint? The first prompts?
Well, you get that going. I'll get our timer prepped and ready.
Okay, we got a timer. All right. So our first prompt, it's going to be for 5 minutes. Describe. Oh, by the way, our theme for the week is the great outdoors. You can take that as the outdoors that you're not allowed to go into, or the 1980s John Candy movie, which is not referenced or spoken about enough. So,
every time I eat a steak, I think of that movie.
Yes. Or see raccoon like talking. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, back to the sprint. So it's going to be our first prompt for the night is describe a mosquito bite from the point of view of the mosquito. 5 minutes.
5 minutes. So let me get the timer up and rolling and starting. These prompts are also in the description box below if anybody cares. Yeah.
Yay. That felt like it went by really fast.
Yeah, I agree. Let me get out of this share screen mode. I got so excited that I forgot to put the last minute in there.
Oh.
Like 1 minute left. Oh. Kenna is here too. We're gonna give a little shout out to Kenna. Hi, Kenna.
Hi.
I agree. Prompts. She's Kenna's looking for shiny fun as well. And you are right, Jen. Joni was very impressed by our tech. Oh my God, how did you do that? She said. So how did it roll for you? The first off.
It was good. You know, it's interesting. It was very fun because it's just so bizarre, I guess. Like you're creating like some sort of character out of a mosquito, and like, you know, it just really takes you out of your head, which I enjoy. I also discovered that I have no idea what any parts of a mosquito are called. Like really, really embarrassed. I'm like, whiskers, tentacles, like I don't know what's going on. Like what would they use?
I did the same thing. Like for the stinger, at one point I kind of bounced from different mosquito voices. Like I was doing like a lot of different characters,
nice.
And one just called it her Needly. She was kind of a.
Oh, that's good. This
yeah.
Is make up a name, then you don't sound like an idiot. Like it's a whisker. I'm like, it's not a whisker. It's not a whisker.
Oh man, I love it. I like these things too because they're silly. You know, it kind of shakes it up a little. Yeah.
What I ended up honing in on was like, you know, the maddening of the itch for the person who got signed. Like the mosquito sort of like gleefully watching the person like struggling, like, you know, about the itch and enjoying them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, sociopath mosquito.
There's a disease in there too, and you don't even know it.
I don't even know it. Hey, Groves! Yay! Meg, that was not me connecting you to a sociopath. I just saw that you popped up. Just so you know. Oh no.
What about you? You see you changed around some different voices?
I did. And I don't know if anybody has any, like, if you want to share a line or whatever, you can put it in the comments. But yeah, I just kind of went from mosquito to mosquito. And one of us was like, yuck, what is this bitch on a detox? Like, like, whoa, why is this mosquito so angry? But yeah, I just kind of bounced, just trying to get different voices. I think for me, you know, we talked about this a little bit last time, is like the 5 minute is very sort of frantic and you're trying getting it all out there. And I do think it's helpful for me to like get different voices out, sort of helps me feel like I'm doing frantic purposefully, you know? So getting this voice, then that voice, and this voice, and this voice. Now I feel like maybe I can like kind of slow down a little. Yeah. But it was fun.
Again, like the 5 minute free write is really just about like emptying your brain, getting the junk out and that type of thing, which is, I think why I like doing the silly ones. Cause you know, you don't feel, I think a lot of times with prompts, you're like, you feel like you have to commit to it. Like you have to create a story. And I'm like, this is just weird. I'm never going to use it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also think too, the other thing is like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I have to use the prompt. I think that's like that weird, very much like, I don't know, weird, like trained to be like a good student. And I don't think you need it. You know, I think you can also be like, okay, I'm writing about mosquito and then I write somewhere else naturally. Look at Joni making jokes. Mine suck. Get it? I do get it. Come on. Meg's popping up. Look, we got these comments rocking and rolling. I love it. So people, let me know. And I guess I want to know, like, next, or maybe at the end of this, since we have people in the comment section, like, do they find prompts not just helpful, but do they just say no thanks? You know, and are they comfortable with that? You know what I mean?
Are they using them, or do they want to like stick to their own stories or their own narratives and like just kind of, you know, do free writes based on that? Yeah.
Oh my God! Look at! I'm getting very excited. Oh, how come this won't show up? Oh, there we go. Okay. Sorry. Sorry, I don't know why that technology. So I found a fun track of comparing myself to wine, and it was fun to have the mosquito describe its favorite 1986 B+. Oh, interesting. That is okay. Cool. I love this. This is fun.
Did anyone's mosquito watch The Great Outdoors? I'm just curious. And what did they think about it?
Oh my gosh, it's just a movie review from a mosquito.
I'm just
That's
saying,
pretty
Annette Bening is in it. I don't know if people, I don't think most people know that.
Jen, here's a question. Did you do research on the great outdoors before?
I thought we were supposed to research.
You're like, I didn't research the anatomy of mosquito, but the movie, for sure.
I cannot tell you, mosquitoes have whiskers and John Candy's in the great outdoors. Okay.
Alrighty. All right. So let's get to the next one. And then if anybody is doing this, I know that this was specifically when I was doing the Camp NaNoWriMo stuff, when I was watching these virtual write-ins, people were asking like, write your word count. What did you get? So if you are interested, or if you want to show that in the comment section, please feel free. We're doing freehand. So I don't have a word count, but but you can even put like half a page, got a page, whatever, just to keep you accountable if that's something you want to do. But again, no pressure.
I had 2 pages in this notebook.
Oh, dang. Nice.
But like big scrawl.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Come on. Mine was a cranky old man like Lou and Mary Tyler Moore. Thinking his poker. Oh, that's okay. He called it poker. All right. Where it didn't belong. Sucking the life out of people. One drop of blood at a time.
Vampire mosquito.
These are so great. You know, getting like getting a character and a point of view on both of those last examples.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Should we do the next one?
Let's do it.
Next prompt. Okay. And again, if you're into the prompt, cool. If it takes you somewhere else, fine as well.
Yeah.
So this one's going to be 10 minutes, right? So let me Jen, I'm going to go reset the timer. Do you have the second one that you can read to everyone?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so for our 10-minute sprint, we're going to describe where in the world your character lives. Is it urban or rural? What's the climate like? What sounds, scents, sights do they encounter when they walk outside? So
okay.
You can take any piece of that you want and just, whatever speaks to you and just go for it.
Can you read it one more time? And also, just to remind everybody, these are in the description if you want to actually read them as well.
Yep. Describe where in the world your character lives. Is it urban or rural? Am I saying rural, right? I can't. It's one of those words I can't say, like Roy. What is the climate like? What sounds, scents, sights do they encounter when they walk outside?
Cool. And I see that Kenna has a question. We're going to get to this. We'll get to that at the end of the next prompt, Kenna. Don't you think we're going to forget about it?
It's Dan Aykroyd.
All right, so let me share this screen. Now that everybody's got the writing prompt, we're going to share the screen. We're going to get that timer rocking and rolling, and when we get back, we'll answer that question. So let's get this up and ready to go. beep boop, bop 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 boop. All right, did it again. Stop sharing the screen. Ooh, that took me to an interesting place, I feel like.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it ended in a place different than it started. That's good. That is for sure. Yeah, I had a hard time deciding rural or urban. So I kind of talked about my personal experience. The other thing, like, I know that you have more experience with like writing a novel and like instantly getting into a character, but when I don't, I just have to write about myself.
Yeah.
I wish I would have sort of preempted maybe with like a character from a story that I was working on and just jumped in there, but I ended up writing about myself. But before I get on that, I know that we talked about Ken a little bit, and Ken, I know, I'm sorry, I said that this was a question. I didn't mean it. I just, I really like this point. Ken had mentioned before the prompt that I've realized that most of my writing these last couple of months has been more list and fact-based. So I like prompt because it opens me up to be more creative, which is interesting. I get into listing myself, especially if things in the planet or outside of myself get very chaotic. I am very much like, if you go through my notebooks, it's just like, lists, whether it's ideas. I think it's just trying to organize, and for me anyway, Ken, I'm not trying to talk for you, like to feel like I have power back, you know, if my mind is sort of going, it does help me to list as well. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out.
Listing too is like a way of free writing as well, where it's just throwing ideas out there and like building on ideas and stuff like that. And like, I do it a lot too. I find it really helpful. Yeah. Yeah, anybody have any good lines they want to share? I feel like I got to the last bit of like kind of coming into like somebody who was from a very rural place, went to a very urban place, and the things that they missed about it. And is like the idea of like a sound kept coming back. Like, I really miss, this is just me, like I miss like the sound of the wind and like the corn stalks, you know, it feels like an ocean and these things like that. But coming to the place where at the end, it was just like, I may have tried to scorch the earth years ago, but to punish the land because I was powerless to punish its people. I was like, oh, ouch. That's some Ken Burns. Ken Burns.
I was like, oh, dang. I know. Joni, I agree. I do think that flew by. That 10 minutes went by fast.
It feels like it's going to be a really long time.
Yeah.
Awesome. I did a similar thing where I sort of went back and forth between two places. So it was like my character, a character in the story I'm working on, she is from a specific place, but she really wants to be in a very different place. So she's from like a very hot, humid, suburban type of place, and she wants to be in like sort of a bitter cold, like, you know, cobblestone-esque type of city. So she's like really longing for it. So she keeps kind of going back and forth and comparing the two, you know, and the frustrations with the one and why one would be so much better. Even though I think you could look at her fantasy world and see it as not great either, but yeah. Yeah.
But I think it's interesting you're talking about like, and I know we had like a general thing of the great outdoors, John Candy, of course, but like how you can use environment to show the duality or the conflict of someone, you know? Yeah. In your story or in your personal, whatever you're creating, because I think there's a difference. I really love something like True Detective, or even like Vera. There's a Shetland, you know, what's her name? Anne, who I love. Anne Cleves is a writer who uses environment as another character. So it's very much like it is in people's like bones and muscles and creates who they are, which I think is really powerful. But it's also like you can then change that and make that tension with environment. Yeah. And as a stand-up, I don't really get that. I don't really get the chance to do that. And I think that's why I like trying to write more character stuff, is to, I don't know, just play a little bit more.
Yeah, play around with the language and just kind of see where, you know, I think sometimes you can expand it, even if you're not necessarily going to use it in that way and you're writing, like you can just kind of see how far you can go and what you can get from it.
Yeah. And the other thing too is like poetry. Like some of the stuff I was writing, it's bad poetry, but I never explore that. Yeah, I never, because there's no time. And because like stand-up and live comedy is not happening right now, I think this is a great tool. It's just a great playtime to be like, oh my gosh, how many different ways can I describe the way I remember wind in corn? Is that ever going to come up ever again? Probably not.
Keep doing it. We're going to read a whole book about it.
Yeah.
I challenged myself. I often, like, your sort of go-to is to, like, go back to, like, you know, writing about your, you know, your own narrative and, like, yourself and that type of thing. Mine is always to go into dialogue because I think it's just an easy out for me. Like, I'm, you know, I don't know, I can just slip into dialogue really quickly. People are just always yammering and chatting in my head. And, yikes. And, not that kind of
that's a different Zoom with your therapist.
Keep your Zoom straight. But I was challenging myself, especially in this one, where I'm like, no, just focus on the place, focus on, you know, the sensory stuff, what's going on, and that kind of stuff. And it's hard for me. I always want to just delve into, you know, a scene.
Yeah, it's interesting how we have like these natural inclinations, and then writing outside of it can stretch that muscle a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it can. I love that you guys are all commenting. So
I know.
I have a lot of trouble with memory recollection. And when I want to do storytelling continued from this POV of mosquito, I was surprised about how many memories it brought up for me. Interesting. So that's kind of cool. Like if you remove yourself, it sounds like a little bit. Like you remove it, like, oh, I'll give myself a mosquito, whatever, that you can actually kind of delve in. That's really interesting. I think because I flex that muscle, sometimes I forget. I'm sure I have the same thing. I just don't realize it. You know, like there are hidden depths of memories that if you can just mix it up, see what else you can pull.
Do you know what I mean? Like the meditation thing too. It's like when you can get yourself to where you're not trying to control the thoughts, you're not putting them in a certain direction with the writing. I think really fun, you know, different stuff can come up, stuff that you hadn't realized, stuff that's like buried under there or that you just didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I love it. Well, we're getting close-ish to the end. So it's 7:38 at the moment, according to my computer.
Do you guys have, do you want to do like a 5-minute one? And then if anybody has questions?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. A good idea. So we have kind of a beefy one, but this could be beefy or non-beefy, right? What a terrible description. So let's do a 5-minute sprint. Because I think the goal is we're going to try to do 3 and not be as super chatty, just because I really want to write. So do you want to read this one out again? I'm sorry, I keep asking you to do that, but the timer.
I have to. All right, I'm going to read it. I'm going to read the big one. Everybody prep. Inspired by Into the Woods, quote, Baker's wife, I'm in the wrong story. Dump your main character in an environment where they do not belong. Who do they find? What do they say? Or add a character into one of your scenes that does not belong there. If you want to change this up for personal essay or stand-up, do you feel like this story of your life is not your own? Why are you not? What can you do to change this outcome?
Yeah. So it's in the description. So okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got it. So I'm in the wrong story.
Yeah. Put your character in the wrong story, or drop yourself in the wrong story, or put somebody new into your story who should not be there.
Okay. We're going to do 5 minutes. If you want to start writing, cool. I'm going to share the screen really quickly just so we're on the same page. I'm in the wrong story. And we're starting. 5 minutes, done.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel like those go by so dang fast.
Yeah, those go by
like
really fast.
almost too fast, right? Where I kind of went back to sort of being a bit, again, a little bit with 5 minutes.
That was messy. I feel like the 5 minute ones are a little messy, but that's okay. I think they're supposed to be, just kind of getting it out. But yeah, my character, she thought she wanted to be in a Hallmark movie, but it was not. It was more like a horror movie. She was really mad.
Oh, she was mad. She was like, "This is some crap."
This is not what I thought. This is not what's supposed to be for me.
Yeah, I tried to get into, like, I really love that. I mean, I know that this is very huge and not original in any way, but like getting a different point of view of like a fairy tale or something. I know that Margaret Atwood's masterclass, she's like, start a story, and Neil Gaiman does this too, like start a story from a different perspective, and her big thing is like, it's dark inside the wolf. So you're like the grandma with a sassy attitude. And I tried to do that at first, and I was just like, it turns out I just really wanted to talk about Quantum Leap.
Don't we all? I should have known. That's next week's theme. Next week's theme,
Quantum Leap. I used to play that. I would be in the car with my sister, but that's it. And then I'd be like, and let's pretend I was, like I just jumped into my own body. But like that idea of like I'm in the wrong story and then having to figure it out.
Where you are. That's great.
Yeah, I loved that game.
Is that what your story was? Like you just are like they just appeared somewhere?
I didn't get that far. I was like trying to figure it out, and then I was like, Quantum Leap. Oh shit, I should have wrote about Quantum Leap. And then the thing ran out.
Now you know where to start.
Yeah. I do find a lot with this free writing is like, oh, that's where I need to start. Like that's the starting.
Yeah.
I have to get through like a lot of writing.
I would encourage people to look at this stuff like maybe tomorrow or something, like take a break from it and just go through, and then any line that stands out to you that you just find interesting or like you feel like, just circle it, and then
No, that's a good idea to like go through.
It will spark you for the like, okay, maybe I want to explore this one. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and just because I know that we have some people watching now, I don't know if everybody lasted the whole 45 minutes, but what Jen and I were talking about pre this meeting too is maybe near the end, because we struggle a lot with rewriting and editing. So please keep your writing, and then maybe at the end of the month or June, we haven't quite figured it out just yet, we want to dedicate one of these writing prompts potentially to editing, to going back through and finding those gems and then fleshing it out.
Yeah, because like working something that we've been working on here.
Yeah. So if anybody, in the comments or later on, or you guys probably all have our emails, people are watching. Just like let us know. Let us know. We're trying to, I don't have like a specific goal. I want to stay creative. I want to start writing something other than stand-up, and I have a bunch of these short stories that I'm not sure what to do with, and I think this is a platform that can maybe help out.
Yeah, I think so. I have so many goals that nothing is happening. So I'm trying to hone in on some goals and bring a goal to fruition.
Yeah.
So,
just a shining spotlight on a goal. So next week we'll do the same thing. We'll have a theme. Let us know.
Ideas, let us know. I'd love to hear ideas.
Yeah, and I know that we're like a little bit over. It's like 3 minutes over. But instead of feeling rushed out, if you have any questions or anything, like we're here or if you want to share anything that you wrote, or I think we can probably hang out for just like another 5 minutes. Yeah.
And will these always be on Tuesday?
Good question.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I guess here's the question. It works for us, but now, and a lot of you know this, so we are doing online classes with the Lincoln Lodge, and they are now starting up again, and we have multiple classes starting on Tuesday nights, which I might have to run tech for. So we might still run it on Tuesday, and then I might have to leave and come back.
We will try. Let us know what you guys think. We were trying. I would like to find a consistent day and time. Oh, thank you. I'm terrible going back to edit. Yes, I agree. I really struggle with the editing as well. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. I'm reading the comments, but we would like to try to pick a consistent day and time and stick with that.
Yeah. So we're thinking Tuesday. We're thinking Tuesdays at least for May. But let us know if if that's bad. The other thing is if they go well and they're actually helpful, like for right now, they're not super helping me, but I think when I get more comfortable with the tech, it will help me. And if that's the case, I can do more than one a week.
I was thinking that too.
You know,
maybe do like a daytime one and then like, an evening one or something like that. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I would be into that too.
All right, gotcha. So Tuesday doesn't work. Okay, gotcha. See that note, definitely. All right, so we'll maybe mix it up or like add another day. Yeah. Good note. Good note.
We'll chat it up. Yay! Thank you guys so much.
Yeah. Thanks. And so we'll plan on being back here for Tuesdays in May, and then we'll let you know.
Add another day. Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys are thanking us. Thank you for hanging out, and I hope that it helped. At least having a place to go, a place to be accountable. Some structure in these banana days that are bananas.
Yeah. And no matter what, like you did something tonight. You wrote a bunch of pages. You got some story starts out. You got somewhere to go. So you should be really proud and feeling good about that.
Yeah.
I feel good about it.
I love a good pep talk, Jen. I feel like we should end with a Jen pep talk. That should be the thing.
You guys are special. You should feel good about yourself.
I'm into it.
You bed today. That was good. If you didn't, you could do it tomorrow.
I am loving every second of this. Okay, so next Tuesday and potentially another day once we kind of get into the groove. But hopefully we'll see all your faces back here Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central. Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thanks to you.